Tomorrow night, the classic rock band Grand Funk Railroad returns to Del Lago. This show is sold out. Well, they were there a year ago, too. And on that night, they met a Rochester man who's had a big impact on their career for the first time. Our executive producer, Mike DeGiorgio, talked to drummer Don Brewer recently and got the story of that big meeting that was some kind of wonderful.
Well, let me tell you, it's a pleasure to talk to you, Don. I actually saw Grand Funk Railroad, the exact same venue, Del Lago Casino, about a year ago. Had a wonderful time. And I don't know if you remember this about the show. There was a gentleman in the audience. His name is John Ellison. He is he's from here in Rochester. He wrote Some Kind of Wonderful.
Absolutely. We had him backstage after the show. It
was a really nice moment. You let him take a bow there from the front row. A woman in the crowd, I don't know if she knew him or not, kind of leapt up and gave him a hug. which was very, very cool to see.
He had some great stories, you know. I mean, he told us the story about how he wrote the song about this girl he was dating way back when he was absolutely broke, you know. I don't need a whole lot of money, you know. I mean, it's just they were driving around in a car that didn't have any floorboard in it. You know, you could see the pavement. You know, it had rusted out. You could see the pavement driving by.
Had you ever met him before?
I never met him personally before. No, he sent word up to, you know, we were actually on stage, and he sent word up to somebody, and he went to one of the road guys, and the road guy that works with me, you know, whispered in my ear during right after the drum solo. He said, "You know, John Ellison's here." I said, "Really?"
Oh, wow. Yeah. Thinking back, how did that song get on your radar to record it in the first place?
You know, we were big R&B fans way back in the late 60s. And we used to listen to a black station in Flint called WAMM. And it was a soul, you know, it was all soul music, you know. And they used to play the Soul Brother 6, you know, Some Kind of Wonderful on that station, you know. So, and it stuck in our head. It was one of our favorite songs, you know. And as we, you know, became Grand Funk and we started, you know, messing around with other material, and we did Locomotion and that kind of stuff. And we used to use the song when we were in the car going from the hotel to the venue, you know, as a warm-up. You know, and we'd sing an a cappella version in the back of the car, you know, I don't need a whole lot, and the band would sing the backup, you know, and one day our manager said, you know, you guys should do that song, you know, and we said, you're right, we should. So we recorded the song, you know, we kind of did our take on the Soul Brother 6 version. It was just, you know, drums and bass guitar and vocals all the way up until the middle, and then the Hammond B3 comes in. You know, it was a gospel. It was totally gospel song, you know. And we, you know, so we did the same thing, you know, and our version is the one that everybody knows. You know,
it has absolutely become one of your standards for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, another one of the big standards is we're an American band. Even here in our little studio in the last year, a band called the Dead Daisies, I don't know if you're familiar with them.
You know, I heard about them. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, they played in town. They played in our studio. The one song they decided to do that morning was We're an American Band. I'm actually hearing it covered quite a bit. Have you heard versions that you really like?
You know, I haven't really necessarily heard a version that I, you know, really like over another. It always has struck me odd, you know, when people do, you know, remakes of songs, you know, I mean, especially, you know, like we did, you know, we did Locomotion, we did Some Kind of Wonderful, we did Inside Looking Out, you know, we did our own take on them, you know, and I've never heard somebody else do their own take, really, on it. Everybody kind of does our take.
And what's funny about that is some of the lyrics are very specific to you guys and your journey and the people you knew, and you don't have to get into the stories of those necessarily, but it's funny how other people have adopted it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and they really don't get the lyrics necessarily, you know, the sweet Connie thing, you know, and Freddie King, you know, a lot of people don't know who Freddie King was, you know, just a great, you know, the great blues guitar player from Texas, and you know, playing poker, and you know, the 4 young Chiquitas in Omaha. You know, they don't know the stories like we know the stories.
All right, part 2 of that interview with Don Brewer is coming up tomorrow morning, so be sure to check that out.